Hi, my name is Gautam from Enrisen, and I'm back again with an update on the current coronavirus situation and its impact on students who are planning to go abroad for their education in 2020. So, in this video, we will focus more on students who are planning to go to the United States for their education in fall 2020. We are going to cover three aspects in this video. First, we will talk about, or I'll give a quick update on the current situation, both in the US and in India. Then we will talk about what the likely options are going to be for students who are planning to go to the US for the fall 2020 semester. And the third topic that we will talk about in this video is whether you should choose to do your fall 2020 semester online, if that is one of the options that is being given by your university. So let's start with a quick update on the situation. So if you look at the United States, the cases are rising very fast. I think almost close to 250,000 cases now. New York is the most affected, but then there are a few other spots in the country as well where cases are rising. Based on everything that I've read or seen so far, in the US, there is an expectation that this will peak at some point of time in April, and after that, maybe stabilize and then start falling down in terms of the number of cases. The general expectation in the US is that things will start opening up by early June. Obviously, some parts of the country are more affected than the others, and given that, and that's very normal given how large a country the US is. So there will, not everything will start at the same point of time. There'll be some parts of the country which will open up faster, whereas there might be some parts of the country which will be slower in terms of opening up. So that's an update on the US. What's happening in India? So as all of you know, we are in a lockdown, national lockdown till the 14th of April, which also means that all the US visa appointments stand suspended currently. The government is currently saying that there are no plans to extend the lockdown, but we really do not know at this point of time because it's very early stages in India at the moment, so hard to take a call. What is happening as far as US universities are concerned? So most of the universities still continue to work from home. All the classes are continuing in an online format. Some universities have already started giving options to students in terms of what they want to do with their fall 2020 admits, right? But majority of the universities are still saying that they are considering all options, evaluating all options, and will get back to students with an update sometime in the month of April, right? I have seen an update from Purdue where they have advised fall 2020 students that it seems unlikely at this point of time that they will be able to get their visas approved in time for the fall 2020 semester. But bear in mind, this is only one university which has said that. I have not seen any other university give this update to students at the moment. So we will have to wait and watch in terms of how this situation evolves. Couple of other updates. The US government has now allowed universities to issue I-20s electronically. So even if the courier services have been hampered because of the pandemic, you will continue to receive your I-20s over email, right? So that's something which was very recently announced, and most universities have started implementing that. Also, may not be directly relevant for fall 2020 students, but for students who are planning to go next year, GRE and TOEFL has given an option, or ETS has given an option for students to write their GRE and TOEFL from India, from their homes, right? So initially that this option was not available for students from India, but now this has been extended to students from all across the world except for two countries. I think they are China and Iran. So if you there are certain sort of requirements. So as long as you satisfy those requirements, you will be able to write your GRE and TOEFL exams from home. So that's an update on what the current situation is like. Now I want to quickly talk about what are the likely options going to be for fall 2020 students, right? So in my mind, there are four possible options which you are going to have. You might not have all of them, but this is sort of like the entire bucket of options that are likely. The first option is things stabilize, the fall semester sort of starts on campus, visas get done on time, and maybe to accommodate all of this, the universities might push back the fall 2020 semester by a few weeks, maybe 4 weeks or 6 weeks. So instead of starting at the end of August, maybe classes might start end of September, early October, something like that. Right? So that might be the best case scenario for everyone, including students and universities, if that is at all possible. The second option, which some of the universities are already talking about, is the fall 2020 semester can be done online. So you'll be able to do it from wherever you are in India without the need to travel to the US when in these uncertain times. And then you go to campus for your next semester, which is spring 2021, after getting your visa approved. So that's the second option. Third option is to defer your admit to spring 2021. I think almost all universities will offer this option to students, to defer your admit from fall 20 to spring 2021. And the fourth and the final option is to defer your admit to fall 2021. Now this, I'm not 100% sure how many of the universities will choose to do that, right? Because you also have to recognize that universities have a limited capacity in terms of the number of students they can take, and there is going to be a whole new sort of cohort of students who will be applying to the universities next year in fall 2021. So some universities might be able to increase their class size by some percentage, maybe 20, 30, 40%, but I'm not sure if all universities are going to be able to increase their intake or double their intake to accommodate both current year students and next year students, right? So we will have to see how many universities actually offer the deferral to fall 2021 admit to all the students. Right, so these are the four options that universities are likely to give. Now let's talk about the second option, right? I mean, as I said, one of the options that universities are very likely to give is the option to do your first semester, which is the fall 2020 semester, online, right? So before I sort of give you my views on whether you should do it or you should not do it, let us first understand the implications of doing your fall semester online, right? So let's talk about the cost implications, right? So from a cost perspective, it's probably going to be favorable because you are not going to incur the living expenses in the United States, and at the same time many universities will actually offer a much lower fee for online classes compared to on-campus classes, right? So I know one example, the Illinois Institute of Technology, their standard fee per credit is $1,600, but for all online classes they are offering $400, right? So that's, you're effectively spending only 25% of the tuition fee for your first semester. So that's an advantage. Then you have to consider the visa implications, right? Because even though you start your fall semester online, you will eventually need to get a visa to be able to go to the US for your spring semester. And as everyone understands, visas are not guaranteed, right? That it depends on your visa application and your visa interview. Now, honestly, for students who are going to good universities, any of the top, say 70 to 100 universities, and students whose parents' financial background is stable in terms of their monthly income and savings, and students who are whose spoken English is good, I think in general they will not find a lot of problems getting their visa approved, right? So these students should usually not be so worried about whether their visas will get approved for their spring 2021 semester or not. Right? So that's your visa implication. The third and the most important implication is your CPT implication, which CPT is your curriculum practical training, which is essentially your opportunity to do an internship in the US as part of your program. Now, if you look at the current law, you can only do a CPT or an internship after completing one academic year or 2 semesters in the US on a F1 visa, right? So this is very important. You need to understand this. So what this means is your first semester, which you are not doing in the US, under an F1 visa will not count towards the requirement of having or requirement of having to do one full academic year or 2 semesters before being allowed to do an internship, right? So what that will mean is that you will start your program in spring 2021, then your second semester will be fall 2021, and you will be able to do your internship only after you complete your fall 2021, right? So this is an important implication to understand, so that typically students end up doing their internships during the summer, and you will not be in a position to do your internship in summer 2021 if you go in spring 2021. Now, this is the law as it stands today, right? Now, I mean, I'm sure universities would probably make a sort of petition to the US government to give some relaxation given the current circumstances, but we cannot be sure of that unless that relaxation is announced by the US government. Now, so as I said, you'll be only, if you are going in spring 2021, you will only be able to do your internship after fall 2021, right? So maybe spring 2020, so your holidays after fall 2021, or even during your spring 2022 semester, you can do your internship. Now, not many people notice, but you can actually do a CPT while your semester is going on, right? Because you can take up online classes, etc., and do your CPT during a semester. Some schools, and I know a couple of schools which have already offered this, will consider the summer 2021 semester as a full semester and will allow you to do your CPT after your summer 2021 semester, right? So you do your fall 2021 semester in the US, you do your spring 2021 semester in the US, and then you do your CPT during the fall 2021 semester. So you still don't get an opportunity to do your CPT during summer 2021, but it will not get delayed too much. You can do it immediately after summer 2021. Right, so that's an implication from the point of view of CPT or internship. That's something that is very important, and you need to consider your situation with respect to CPT or internships if you are choosing to do the first semester online. So, given all of these implications, what should students do? Should they actually choose to take up the first semester online and then go to the US in spring 2021 for the second semester? So typically my advice is this, right? So if you're going to the US for your undergraduate studies after your 12th standard, honestly, doing one semester online is not going to make too much of a difference. So rather than wasting your time or sort of pushing back your plans by either 6 months or 1 year, I would recommend that it is much better to start your semester online while you are in India, then get your visa approved, and then start your or go to the US and start your fall spring 2021 semester on campus. For students who are going for their graduate studies, if you already have a reasonable amount of work experience, say 1 or 2 years of work experience, then internships are actually not a big factor in terms of getting OPT jobs after graduation, right? So if you already have some work experience before going to the US, and when I say work experience, I'm talking about full-time work experience, not so much internships, projects, etc. So if you have full-time work experience for a year or two, then internships are not going to be a big factor for you, and it might still be okay in the interest of saving time and money to do your fall 2020 semester in India online, and then go for your second semester to the US in January 2021. For students or for students going for their graduate studies who do not have any prior work experience, I think an internship is going to be a very big factor in terms of you being in a position to secure good OPT jobs after your graduation. So my recommendation would be that it is better to avoid doing the fall 2020 semester online. Look at sort of deferring your admits to spring 2021 or fall 2021. So that from a jobs perspective and from an OPT perspective, you will get the best possible outcomes. So hopefully this video was useful. I would encourage you to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you found it useful. We will continue giving ongoing updates on this situation and also on other matters related to studying abroad. Next week, I think one of the ongoing sort of queries that I have seen from students over the last couple of weeks is the impact on economy because of the coronavirus situation, especially in the US, and what implications is that likely to have on job prospects after you complete your graduation, right? So that topic deserves a separate video by itself. So next week I will try and cover the economic implications of coronavirus and what impacts it is likely to have on job opportunities after you graduate from a US university. So thank you very much and wishing you all the very best.